feeling in my body.
Yeah. It lifted a lot of pressure. Carry on.
And it took away my anxiety of going back to work after being gone 3 days. By the time I went to work at noon, I felt much better. And then when I came home, I did it right before I went to work because I thought, ugh. And then I just felt better. I just felt more clarity of who I was.
That's it. So
Yeah.
the Muse method, I'm just going to keep saying it over and over again, right? It's breathing life into you, right? So that's our intention. Sorry, 1 second. I'm still admitting people. So our intention is always that we're breathing life into us. So when we breathe life into us, that gives us more clarity. That brings less anxiety, because it's the analogy, right? Is like the fire is growing inside of us. And so the other stuff just automatically either vaporizes, melts, or like starts to move away. So, if we think, oh, well, it's this technique. It is a technique, but the technique is breathing life into us. Why wouldn't we continue to do it? Even if it's 10 times a day or 15 times a day, it's like, oh, I lost myself. Okay, let me go back and stoke that fire. And of course, if you're also so hi, everybody who's joining. I start right in at 8:30. So Linda was just sharing that she did the Muse method yesterday 3 times and she added it to the group. And so I told her super lame that she wasn't sharing what that meant. What did it do for her? Did it do nothing? Did it make her more emotional? What did it do? And she's like, she slept way better. And it's okay to say you slept way better, but you still feel tired in the morning, right? It's like, okay, so let's do the Muse method now. And what else? Okay, because when we gain clarity, it also tells us what other choices we have available that'll actually contribute. Because so many times we're really confused because there's a lot of choices out there. But because we're tuned into everybody else's, this is great, this is awesome, we don't actually gain clarity on what will contribute to us, what will serve us, what will support us. And so when we breathe life into ourselves, we gain more clarity so that we're not so confused, and so we can move forward. Right. All right. So how I want to start today, which is really how we've already started, is just to share, were you able to do it 3 times? Were you able to do it more if you wanted? And what did you experience yesterday? Anybody else want to share?
I'll go first. It's kind of what I posted in the group. I should have used Muse a few times yesterday, and it's not my go-to thing yet for when I'm in these sticky situations or my head's just swirling. So that's now I'm going to remember to do it and make it my default rather than trying to fix everything through my thoughts.
So we have been taught for a really long time. So a lot of us have patterns change your thoughts. And for me, what I realized, through all my training, it's really hard to change my thoughts. If I'm entrenched in thoughts or things that are going on or whatever, finding, and I put air quotes around it, the positive thought doesn't always even help, because the positive thought, then I go into war zone. I'm like, I don't know, that's really the truth, and so I'm in battle zone. And so it's just this war in the brain, instead of, again, in the Muse method, it's a tool to breathe life into you, right? We're warming up our embers. So this is what I want to ask before anyone else shares. Does intention matter? Okay, so, and I want you to think of a situation where somebody did something for you and maybe it was flat, like it was just like, yeah, okay, I'm just doing this. And then somebody else did a similar thing, and it had like intention behind it. Like they wanted to show you that they appreciated you or honored you. And do any of you have experiences like that where somebody did something with intention? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And what's the difference between just like, I'm just going to get it done, and having somebody do something with you, for you, with intention?
Night and day.
Night and day. Why?
It's just, I mean, well, because there's so much more meaning behind it, so much more into that gesture than just a flat line, like, okay, like, all right, this is a pen, but if I give you this pen because it's, it means something to me, and it, you know what I mean, then you take it and you like cherish it, versus it's just a pen.
Oh my, I love your example. So I'm in a different challenge where I'm like a participant, right? And so at the moment I'm learning like how much, what is the dang word? Oh, I hate when I lose words.
Analogies.
What'd you say?
Analogies.
No, that one, like sentimental. So I didn't realize how sentimental I was, because I don't think I've been sentimental in most of my life. But now, like when Joe gives me things, like he doesn't just give it to me. Like it's like filled with his love and appreciation and all this. And I'm like, I'll trip over myself to wear things that he gave me, because the intention behind it is, it's filled, right? It's energy, right?
Mhm.
It's energy that affects us. And so you can do the Muse method flatlined.
Mhm.
Right?
Yes.
And then you're gonna probably flatline. It's gonna be like, yeah, so what? I put my hands on my body, I closed my eyes, and I breathed. What now? But if
Mhm.
you put your hands on your body, like somebody like you cherish and you touch them, whether it's your children, your parents, somebody you love, a friend, when you put your hands on somebody that you love, there's like an energy. That's what we're doing, right? That's the intention. When we close our eyes and then when we breathe, we're like, I'm here with you. I'm intending to breathe life into you. You matter. It will be the difference, right? And it may already be the difference. All right, so Teresa, do you want to share? Not yet. Okay, I feel you. I'm sending all my. Thank you. Anybody else want to share their experience?
I had an event with a coworker who I trust, that I was immediately able to realize and recognize as gaslighting, when before I would have spiraled down the self-doubt trail. And I did. I definitely went down the trail, but I turned around and I went back to the signpost and did my Muse and was able to recognize it for what it was.
Yeah. And so, Julie, there's an interesting energy that came up. You recognized and you're like, I can either accept that, like absorb that, or I can just go, okay, that's what that was. I don't need to like bring it into my body. I can instead, so we talked about this yesterday, a lot of energy work or even counseling work is about removing the yuck, right? But then we're left with 80% empty. When we go in and we go, but what is my truth? Like, what do I want to breathe life into, right? And so you're not even asking that with the Muse method. You're just going, I breathe life into me. And it's going to go into all those little cells. And like on Alice in Wonderland, where she goes from the gray world and she goes down the rabbit hole and it all turns technicolor, we bring colorful life to our cells again. into the space between ourselves, because we tell them, I love you. That's not our truth. Whatever that energy is, we're not bringing that into our body. Right? And so you just were like, I see you clearly. Not mine.
Right.
Thank you very much. Right? Awesome. Any other experience with it? Were you able to do it 3 times yesterday, Julie?
Yes.
Awesome.
I just realized something. Sorry, I'm talking again. I did do mine 3 times yesterday, even though it took me till later in the day to do the second 2. But I was having a text conversation with somebody who was making some little digs without actually saying them. And I just let it go. I didn't obsess on it. I didn't dream about it, which in the past I would have. It would have kept me up. And I just was able to just know that the words weren't my truth. And it's all because of all this.
I love that. So I want to bring words to what you just did so that all of us know, because I can tell when I go into this. When our awareness of what's going on is bigger than our allowance, and allowance to me is like a screen door, right? Acceptance is absorption. Allowance is a screen door. It's like, oh, I see. We still have awareness. I see that what you're trying to do. And instead of moving into absorption, like I need to absorb this, I need to judge this, I need to defend this, you just go, okay, not mine. Screen door, right? Allowance. Like I'm going to allow you to be. I don't need to go course correct your actions. I don't need to prove you wrong. I don't need to do anything. Carry on. Right? It's like same thing on the road when we're driving. It's like you can engage the crazy drivers, or you can go staying out of your way, speed up, slow down, whatever I need to do in order to turn my music up and still enjoy my ride. Right? So what else before we do the Muse method again together? You can have questions. Like if you're really new to this, like if you have questions, it's okay. If you're like, I'm still flatlining, don't make yourself wrong, right? Just be curious. Like, okay, I wonder what will happen if I do this with intention. Go ahead, Wendy.
So I'm curious, what happens if you do this mid meltdown? Because that's where I was yesterday, and I kept like trying to apply it mid meltdown, and I'm like,
well, what happened mid meltdown?
I don't think I can talk about it.
Okay. All right. So like what's going to happen? So first of all the ladies who work with me a lot know this. We're in an emotional life. We're taught that we're supposed to only feel the higher vibration emotions, but every emotion has gifts and every emotion is an honor to experience. You cannot love deeply without mourning deeply. You cannot be passionate without having anger, right? I flatlined a good probably 12 years of my life. And my wake up call was my organs were shutting down. They were nearly dying. I was in ICU and all kinds of things because my body was like, if you're not going to experience the fullness of life, we're going to help you out. We're going to be out. Okay. So that was my wake up call. It took me a little while longer to like fully wake up, but I can tell you, allow those energies to move as you're breathing more life into you. Some of the things that you have pushed down and some of the choices that you've said, I can't, it's not okay. They're going to come out as emotions that invite you to choose, to truly honor yourself. Emotions demand that we show up for ourselves. Flatlining doesn't do that. If you guys could just mute yourselves, there's some background. So keep doing it. I even said yesterday when I did mine with you guys, it brought emotions to the surface. Don't analyze your emotions for now. Allow them to flow. Keep doing the Muse method. And this is what I would say. Don't fix problems at the moment. Choose to do things that spark more fire. That's all. Just for the moment, Wendy. Right? So whatever lights you up, whatever, whether it's what you're eating, how you move, do something different, what you wear, how you look at yourself in the mirror. Yeah. But continue to do it and allow. Okay. Hopefully that helps. It's not always, so this isn't a fix. We're not doing the Muse method to fix, although it does have massive benefits. We're doing the Muse method. The intention is to breathe life into us. And sometimes the us that's underneath is fucking pissed off. Sometimes it's tired of being pushed down. Sometimes it's crying out to be held. There is nothing wrong with having that awareness and saying, if you need to scream it out in a drive, I drive in my car and do my screaming, right? Go, I need support. You're going to have to show me where the support is. You're going to have to show me, this is the other piece, how to actually allow the support in instead of always giving it the back of the hand, right? All right, so we got 4 minutes. So I really want to do the Muse method together this morning, and then we'll come out. So you guys, ladies, get to choose where you put your hands. Where's my thing? We're going to do 1 minute together. Hands on, close eyes, and breathing. Are we ready? Okay. All right. All right. Today I was like, I don't want to come out. Like, can I just crawl up in that space? So anybody else want to share anything before we go today? A question, a comment, anything?
I had one. This was interesting. I wasn't particularly emotional yesterday. I kind of felt like I was just going through the motions and I was trying so hard to not be that, but I don't know how to explain it. Anyway, I'm like, it doesn't matter. What you need to do is just do it. Don't try. And so I did. And it was really helpful. But today, I have a day sitting before myself. I have an open day. Nobody's here. I'm all alone. And emotion came up, like a sadness, I've been carrying a heavy burden, and having hands on myself and breathing life was like such a relief. Like, can I just let all that go?
Yeah.
So that's what I just experienced in this one little tiny minutes. That was really pretty cool.
That is pretty cool. And it is a tiny minute. Sometimes Debbie even said that. I was like, it's not long enough today. And how can you honor the not long enough? And how can you honor, like, there's a deliciousness in breathing life into you. There is a deliciousness in showing up for yourself in a way that shifts things, right? And so again, before we go, I'm just going to say, many people, you pick your own percentage, but many people are 80%, ice blocks, ice shards, things that are stabbing inside of there. And so as you're stoking that fire, some of it is going to vaporize, like, just as water does turn into mist, right? But other parts are going to be slushy and watery, and they're going to come out, and they're going to come out through emotion, and they're going to come out through oozing. It's okay. On the other side of that, please keep stoking your fire. Keep breathing into you, even if you don't know what that means. We're not thinking like, I'm going to stoke my fire, and that means that I'm going to bring out this. You're just breathing life into you. There's no trying, there's no thinking. Just keep breathing life into you and watch what starts to happen. Okay. Share in the Facebook group. This is a way to interact with others and spark their fire and spark each other's fires. Tomorrow, I'm going to bring up what you said, Gina, about the little ball thing too. Otherwise, have a brilliant day. Okay. Love you, ladies.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Yep. Have a great day. Bye.